Hello, Cherie Hanson here. It is July 3rd. We're into it. We have stood at the top of the slide for so many months, looking at that angle down and saying, no, I don't want it. I'm just going to cling to the handrail, hold myself in this stuck place. But now it's happening. Now we can let go and slide. I think the biggest issue for me is my deeply ingrained habits of self-protection. I found that, if it didn't kill me, maybe it bruised me or broke things, but if it didn't kill me, then I'll just keep doing that. But we're in another place right now. And it brings to mind my first trip to Europe. As I got off of the plane, I remember saying to my traveling companion, "Oh, Europe does exist." Because before that, I was raised along the west coast of the United States and I hadn't traveled far. I didn't have a sophisticated, expansive concept of the world. But I'm walking in Florence, Italy. So I get this sudden download that there are so many things that I don't know exist. It's like opening the door to the multiverse or quantum physics or alternative lives or the non-existence of time. Everything that I did not believe because I had not experienced it came to my mind, and I became very curious about what is it that is real. And that brought my mind back to the putting on the brakes that I've experienced in my life. You're on your bike and you're pushing on the handbrake so hard and you're going like, oh, it's not going very fast. No, it's not, because you're living in fear. You're living with the brakes on. So what if we came to understand that every single decision that we make is blind? It's absolutely blind. Because I can't step out of the reality I'm in right now and make a bigger decision, a decision for being more powerful, for being more who I am, for being more expansive, for being more capable of helping other people, if I don't believe it. And I don't believe it if I haven't experienced it. And that's the trap. That's the conundrum that we're in. If I am so afraid of making the wrong choice, what happens is I don't make a choice. Or I only do that which I have always done before. And here's the fun part of that. You can do what you always did before, and it worked out, but this time it might fail. There's no guarantee that doing the same thing over and over again is going to keep you safe. So these two things came to me today very clearly. Repetition of bad decisions is not necessarily a guarantee of safety. Also, taking a risk at a new decision is not a guarantee that you will fail horribly. So we get back to the concept of the trap of the human mind. Our mind it's like in a Chinese puzzle box. It's like this. What do I believe? What are my beliefs in here? Well, what my mother and my grandmother and her mother believed is all trapped in here. What I experienced in my childhood is all trapped in here. What I have as hardwired habits of thought are all trapped in here. How do I get out of that? We get out of that by understanding that our conditioning, our family trauma, our wounding, our societal restrictions are embedded in our neurons, embedded in our cells, embedded in every single aspect of ourselves. And so now we come to this idea of this is a Chinese box. I need to figure out how to get it open. I need to figure out how to create blooming and blossoming and shifting and gentle beauty in my life. And that's on me. Now, the way I find I can nudge, cajole, seduce myself into a bigger decision is with sanctuary. And the sanctuary for me are my teachers. My teachers have taught me how to ground myself so I'm not going all crazy. I'll give you an example. I do Wim Hof breath to ground myself, to bring myself back to my body. When I do Wim Hof, sometimes I get a very, very strong sense of visualization of all of my guides around me, surrounding me, protecting me, of my angels above me, of my ancestors with me. And I get this overwhelming sense that I am protected. I'm not the only one who can protect me. I am simply a very blind, deaf, conditioned, hardened, frightened child. And I need my team. I need my guides and my ancestors and the angels to help me understand the fact that the universe loves me, because my society is not going to tell me that. They don't want us to be brave and blossoming and full of compassion. And so with Wim Hof breath, I can bring myself back to my sanctuary of groundedness, my confidence in my body, my confidence in the universe. To give you an example of this, I was, after I got out of the hospital, I was struggling with shortness of breath, with severe anemia, with shooting high blood pressure. And as I was out walking one day, I was blacking out and having trouble breathing. And so I went into a drugstore and took my blood pressure, and the information that came out is, go to a hospital now. You are having, you are having an attack. You are in danger. And then I had this sense that, I should be alarmed and frightened. But then I came back to the fact, I know how to ground myself. I know how to comfort myself. And so I closed my eyes